Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unmanned, AUVSI supports the FAA's plan to review UAS type certification. Bristow-Schiebel carry out the UK's first unmanned SAR aircraft trial. And Airborne-Unmanned turns 3. Welcome to Aero-News Network's Airborne-Unmanned, a weekly news program covering all things unmanned, in partnership with AUVSI, the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International. I'm Sophie Herlock. AUVSI supports the FAA's plans to issue type certificates for UAS with no occupants on board under the process in Section 21.17b. However, the FAA may still issue type certificates under Section 21.17a for airplanes and rotorcraft UAS designs when appropriate. In a filing with the FAA on a notice of policy for the type certification of certain UAS under Part 21 of the Federal Aviation Regulations, AUVSI also says the FAA should completely amend the type certification and product certification process by taking a more holistic approach to operations that are performed outside of existing regulations for small UAS. The certification would replace the current requirements for waivers under Part 107 or authorization through Part 135 to perform extended and complex operations, including beyond visual line of sight and flying at night, which are necessary to provide services such as UAS package delivery. Now let's take a quick look at news making rounds of the unmanned vehicle communities. It's time for today's Unmanned Minute. Union Robotics is now offering a factory training certification program to accompany its UAVs. Called R.A.F.T, the program prepares industrial drone pilots for compliance with current and upcoming governmental mandates for UAV operations in addition to providing energy-specific skill development. R.A.F.T will be led by Union Robotics pilot expert Jan R. Timmerman, who has over 20,000 flight hours as a helicopter pilot. NASA's next Mars rover has a new name, Perseverance. The name was created by 7th grader Alexander Mather, who submitted the winning entry to the agency's Name the Rover essay contest, which received 28,000 entries from K-12 students from every U.S. state and territory. Similarly to how bats use echolocation to orient themselves with their surroundings, mathematicians have found the same can be done with microphones and a speaker on a drone with the help of algebra and geometry. This signal processing research has potential applications for people, underwater vehicles, and even cars. Muriel Boutin and Gregor Kemper, professors in the Department of Mathematics at the Technical University of Munich, have worked to reconstruct the wall configuration of rooms by using echoes picked up by microphones on the drone. Aerial data solution provider SkyX announced the completion of a capital raise from Drone Fund, an investment firm based in Tokyo that specializes in investing globally across the drone space, including aerial mobility, drone technologies, and DAAS solutions. This marks SkyX's third capital raise since the company was founded in 2015. We'll be right back with the rest of the news. Bristow is carrying out the UK's first trial of UAVs for life-saving operations in maritime and land environments in partnership with Schiebel Group. Bristow is operating the Schiebel Camcopter S-100 system to fully evaluate its capabilities in a search and rescue role. The trial is being led by Bristow and is complementary to the work being carried out by the Maritime and Coastguard Agency to develop the regulation under which UAVs can operate in a range of scenarios beyond visual line of sight in an unsegregated airspace. The Camcopter S-100 is already used in land and maritime environments by international agencies such as the European Maritime Safety Agency, with the capability to travel 108 nautical miles from its home base. The S-100 is flown by a pilot in a remote location, using digital control and imaging technology to allow them to see through the eyes of its onboard cameras. Just a few days ago, Airborne-Unmanned, the longest-running video news program dedicated to the unmanned aviation community, turned 3 years old. The program first launched in early March of 2017, and since then several hundred airborne unmanned episodes have been developed in partnership with AUVSI to keep the UAV community updated, entertained, and educated. Now we're planning major changes in our drone and unmanned vehicle programming as we combine the AMA Drone Report and Airborne Unmanned into one cohesive program. Your suggestions are welcome, and we look forward to not only serving the UAV community in the future, but raising the bar higher than ever in the process. Please send any suggestions to Jim at aero-news.net. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.